With Clifford Longley. The time is 10 to 8.
What is the future for Pakistan, and in particular for Pakistan's culture, its wider culture? The country is troubled, of course, by corruption, by insurgencies, by poverty, by extremism, and has seemed to reach a new low when the Taliban shot a 14-year-old schoolgirl, a blogger who had campaigned for female education. Malala Yousafzai was too Western, they said, and when she didn't die, they said they'd come for her again. But to the surprise of some, the attack was roundly and bravely condemned by many Pakistanis. There was a national day of prayer for Malala. To look at the forces at play in modern Pakistan, we're joined by Abbas Nasir, who's a columnist for Dawn, used to be the editor of the paper. It's the biggest English language newspaper in Pakistan. And from there by Ameena Saiyid, who is the managing director of Oxford University Press Pakistan. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Good morning.
First of all, talking just about Malala Yousafzai, what Ameena Saiyid, has there been in any sense, do you think, a kind of national awakening surrounding her case, where people think we have to stand up, we have to do something?
Yes, I think clearly there has been an awakening. It's been a turning point. And it's heartening that people across the board, from liberal people to some of the religious parties, have roundly condemned this. And I think this is the most encouraging thing that has come out of it. That for once the nation has been united. It's actually pulled everyone together.
Abbas Nasir, do you agree?
I wish I could be that optimistic. I mean, Saiyid is on the ground and must have, a better feel than I would sitting here in London. But I do think that it's a very complicated battle. Yes, there's an upsurge of support for Malala Yousafzai and condemnation of the Taliban, but at the same time, you hear a lot of voices finding totally ludicrous binaries between conspiracies and the attack on Malala, between the US wanting to force Pakistan Army's hand in North Waziristan, where the militants, kind of reign supreme as we speak, and also that there is a whole bunch of political leaders, including, the favorite, who's supposed to be the favorite for the next term in power, which is Imran Khan, the cricketer. They're shying away, and they're somehow finding equivalence between the attack, a brazen, dastardly attack on a 14-year-old girl, all who wanted was to educate herself, and US drone attacks. Now, condemnable and illegal as they may be, we need to condemn this, in its entirety, rather than, lose focus.
Is that the real problem, that there is this disconnect in Pakistani society between the kind of cultural elites who can have these discussions in a highly civilized manner, and the rest of society, which is much more feudal, much more riven by extremism and under pressure from extremists, and the temptation at the top is to use those forces to get what you want and not do what for the country might be the right thing, and say it is wrong and we must oppose it.
You're right. It's a tale of two cities, and the entire country is a tale of two cities, because you can't talk to two people on the street, at random, and not find two completely diverse points of view, and not necessarily welcome ones. No, but not necessarily welcome ones, because there'll be the odd person who'd say it's okay to, for women to be locked up inside their homes and not go out. All I wish to say is that it's okay if all that opinion were to manifest itself in the democratic process. I mean, the religious right has never really won any significant electoral wins in Pakistan's electoral history, no matter how checkered it is. And we should stop being held hostage by, armed goons who are trying to bring in a medieval sort of view of life to the 21st century.
And then the question, Saiyid, is how you do that, and in a practical way. You're very involved, aren't you, with education in Pakistan? You set up a children's literature festival. How do you build the kind of society around those things that is able to face down those that attack you?
Well, actually, I have a lot of I think, confidence and faith in what is going on in Pakistan. And this is the literature festival that I organized for children in Quetta in September. People told me that you are mad to be going to Quetta and getting children together. But it worked. 7,000 children turned up. The day went peacefully. They had a lot of fun. The Balochi and the Pashtun children were talking and laughing together. So I think the society is very strong. Clearly the state is weak, and there are issues of a very strong army and feudal structure. But I feel that the society is very strong. I think people want to work tirelessly to build things in the country. There's a lot of philanthropy. There's a lot of social work.
Can I pick up on Ameena's point? I think she makes a very good point. If you look at the history of elections in Pakistan, people have always voted for parties which represent democratic values and a fairly modern outlook. I think the people who've let the masses down is the elite of the country, whether it's political or in the military or in the religious elite. They have perpetuated their own kind of influence and power structures rather than really deliver anything.
And the outside world, briefly, the influence. I mean, you look at Pakistan from afar and you think, where to start. And obviously there's enormous involvement when there were terrible floods recently, and there's concern about corruption, there's concern about the political situation in Afghanistan. Can the outside world do anything positive?
I think the outside world, when I was editor of Dawn, I used to meet ambassadors and other people, and I used to say the best you can do, particularly to the American ambassador, is to leave us alone, to sort out our own things. Even statements of support by the US, given the anti-US sentiment in the country now because of Iraq mainly. I don't think Afghanistan war was a big issue, but Iraq, was on very flimsy grounds, as the Today program knows very well. And I think the West should support the democratic process, but stop from pontificating every now and then.
Abbas, Nasir and Ameena Saiyid, thank you both very much.
And let's get the weather for